Hey guys, we are back at the bar once again. It's Friday, and today I am with Mr. Jesse, Mr. Dogtooth. So, quick introduction for those who don't know. And then you go.
Oh, right, sorry, me. I thought you were going to do that. Rick from Dogtooth, that's the easy bit. I am a graphic designer by trade. That is literally my standard banter. But I am a creative that I love design, art, print, anything along those fields, as well as really large stuff like buildings and branding in those kind of spaces. So that's my sort of area of expertise.
Let's just talk a little bit in depth of how long you have been a creator.
I've been a creator all my life, actually. From being a kid to, drawing, being good at drawing and having my parents and my school push me down a certain route to make me, do more creative arty things. Plus, I'm not exactly, when it comes to maths and English and stuff, those things are for other people. Yeah. I have got the creative sort of brain.
And were your parents creative?
My father was an electrician, but he was actually very creative. So he can play guitar and sing, and he also used to write a lot of kids' storybooks and illustrate them for us as a family. So, and my mum's a teacher, so there's a bit of creativity there.
So, Rick, you are a creator. Mm-hmm. Name 3 of your favourite projects that you have worked on.
So, in my own business, I've done the design wrap for a Redbull media truck. That was literally one of those sort of design, you've got a vision for this thing, and I made it happen by sort of trying to push towards it, to have Redbull as a customer in my sort of little notebook, and eventually got to that stage with doing something with them. When I used to work for someone, so I worked at a top 10 design agency, and I brought a project to the business through my housemate, and it was actually Vodafone for the reworking of the new site in Portugal that they had, and I was really instrumental, even though I was a real young designer, instrumental in sort of coming up with all the technology side of stuff, because obviously they were a little bit older. I was sort of into technology, came up with all these ideas of the things that we could do. And that really made my brain go from like being a standard graphic designer who did stuff in leaflets, logos, all that kind of stuff, to suddenly realizing actually everything in the world is designed. Yeah. So even the way that people flow around a building is designed, and then everything is about the brand. So then So Vodafone and Redbull are like really key ones. Mm-hmm. And then one sort of like fun fact that I always tell people is that I was on 60-minute makeover, where I put up some stickers from my wall sticker company. Yeah.
Can you find that on YouTube?
Yeah. Can you? Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel.
What year was that?
It's quite a while ago now, so maybe 2012, maybe something like that. Maybe 10, yeah, maybe. Yeah, 2010 maybe. So.
Yeah. That's cool. So good. Redbull, how did you close that? How did you?
That is even bigger story actually. Yeah. So again, if I work back, it was to my relationship with Twisted. So Twisted were making the vehicle, and they asked me if I could do the design and wrap for the Redbull branding on the vehicle. But I got Twisted as a client through doing some stuff for the gumball, because I was quite into the gumball rally side of things. So a lot of my most recent history within my business comes from my love of cars, a passion for branding and motorsport, and kind of putting all those things together. I literally photoshopped an idea a long time ago now. I can't even remember when it was. Twisted were going to have Tony Hawk, the pro skater, in their vehicle on gumball, and I just saw this tweet go out, so I grabbed it, photoshopped some graphics on it, and sent it back and said.
And that was your doorway in?
Yeah, and that was it. Yeah, so it was just like, why don't you do something like this? And then then I saw them at a motorsport show, and then I saw them and I said, oh, I sent you this, you know, put my name to a face kind of thing. And then I went over to meet them. And then, you know, I've had a real long history of working with Twisted. I love them as a brand, you know, and I feel invested because I've been with them quite a while. Doing little, I mean, don't do loads with them, but yeah, I've been with them so long that I enjoy doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool. And then Gumball, do you think you'll achieve a Gumball one yet? How much is it? How much is a Gumball if you were to do it?
It is about 75,000 for a car at the moment.
That's just for purely the car?
Yeah. Well, two people in the car, 75. Right, so you split it essentially. But
should we do it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's class.
My
sponsorship, Gumball 3000.
Yeah. If I was 5 years younger, I think. Oh, sorry, if I was born 5 years earlier, so I would be 5 years older, actually.
Yeah.
So you told you maths is not my strong point. I would have probably been in, you know, the sweet spot in terms of the price point for Gumball because it used to be cheaper.
Right.
And I could have probably made that work. Now it's at that end, it's mainly for like tech entrepreneurs, you know, crypto people, celebrities, YouTubers. You know, YouTubers, etc. Yeah, and you know, the demand has outstripped the, you know, my ability to keep up with that. So, but yeah, I love the idea of it. Yeah. I've been to a few of the things, and I've done some work with Gumball as well. Yeah. So, you know, I love the brand as well. So, to me, it would be great to have that on the bucket list. So to recap, your 3 favourite projects were Vodafone, big one, Redbull, and number 3, 60-minute makeover, which you can find on YouTube, but which we will drop the link to the YouTube video in this description. What I didn't realise was on 60-minute makeover, it is genuinely 60 minutes. That's what everyone asks me. Is it really 60 minutes? And it really is. But there's a big gap in the middle where they do things like drying paint and stuff. So when we arrived, we were literally had like fan heaters and heat guns trying to dry this paint off so that we could put the stickers onto it. How many were involved in that? The actual thing? For you, on your just me and Ed. Ed who used to work with me. How did you get that one? Number 1 on Google for wall stickers at the time. And our phone never stopped ringing. So I was on... I personally was on 60-minute makeover, but our products were on Redbull Air Race, T4 on the beach, T4 in Miami, even T4 on Miami. T4 rang us and said, we want to do this opening sequence with, you know, like with the logos and stuff like that. What could you suggest? So we were like, well, I don't know really. Put our mind to it. We created these little flags, so we just printed them out on a sticker. Went down to Yates's, got a piece of dowel, put the dowel in, stuck them together, made a dozen or so of these things, shipped them to Miami, and then the opening sequence is all these little flags that we'd made. That's mad. Yeah, and we were also on Britain's Next Top Model, so we had products in the back. You were? No, I wasn't. No. And also Disney's. A Disney channel, I can't remember, Disney Junior or something like that channel as well. So just products in the background. But yeah, we at that point. And we did some plates for like MasterChef. It wasn't MasterChef, it was another cooking thing. So we just did loads of stuff because we were number 1 on Google, and it was just an easy callers and we make stuff. It was brilliant time. I loved that business. So with your Google, going back to that, were you heavily invested with SEO, with web work? Did you have marketing behind you? What were you doing in that regard? We did a full range of stuff at the time. We were really lucky that we were early. So we hit a trend before it sort of manifested into the big trend. So we were like early. What kind of era was that? I set the website up in 2007, so you know, it's quite a while ago now. I set it up from my shed at the bottom of my garden. And all stories start from a shed, don't all businesses? Just bought a cutter. A friend of mine said, could you put these stickers on the wall in my office? So I did that, and I thought, you know, there's a business there. And the guy he's called Guy actually, Guy Redwood, he was really in with the Leeds crew of sort of websites, testing, all that kind of technical side of web. And I just got in with this really good group of people who were really helpful, and they They gave me loads of SEO tips. They gave me, you know, a lot of
So
help.
you did it on your own back?
Yeah, back in the day it was easy, you know, like
yeah.
it was just like, you know, hashtags and, you know, a bit of
Keywords,
a little bit of markup, and keywords and all that stuff. It's a difficult job now compared to what it was.
More demand as well now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Everyone's on it.
Yeah, and everyone wants to be number one. And that was one of the key things that sort of for that business is that we were number one on Google for quite a while. And, you know, just saw growth. It was great. And then all of a sudden, Google changed the algorithm in 2012 and boom, gone. I should have really pushed harder. Obviously, I knew a lot of people that were doing e-commerce at that time. Yeah. And a lot of those lost business as well. So it was a big thing within this Penguin and Panda update. Yeah. And then, but they did invest. Whereas I just cheaped out.
That's a true Yorkshireman.
Yeah, I just like pivoted because we already had commercial customers by this point. So we were doing a bit of work in hospitals and businesses, and so I just completely pivoted away from e-commerce to working.
It's easy to take your foot off the gas, as well, isn't it? With marketing
and we should have pushed. You know, more into that, and I think it's those decisions you make at the time, rather than sort of pushing towards, you know, doubling down on your market and doubling down on your adverts. Like adverts, obviously back then were in their infancy because it was really SEO. You know, like that's how you got places. But now it's much harder to be at top. Yeah. So you've got to do adverts. So you've got to do all the stuff. And like the early days, I mean, I was like real early on, you know, Facebook and Twitter and all them, and not all of them didn't really matter. I mean, Instagram, I joined it and left it because it was just people taking pictures of food at the time.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and now it's what a massive thing. You know, and you can't
and free marketing as well.
Yeah, as a business, you can't not be on it, right? You've got to be there.
Lost in the shadows, if not.
Every social media has its own little twist, which you've got to apply your brand to. But the you know, like the likes of TikTok, it's like the type of content that works for that kind of demographic, etc. So it is a completely difficult game, but you've still got to do something, because if you don't do anything, you're losing. That's what you're doing, right? So you're going backwards. Everyone else is trying something and they're moving forward, and maybe they're not expert, but they're trying something. If you don't do it, you're getting left behind.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what we tend to find a lot of. Right. A lot of clients they're waiting to get to a position where they've got a marketing budget behind them. So they're waiting to get clients on board, more revenue coming through, and then they're going to invest on marketing. Whereas you need to invest to get more clients. Yeah. So we tend to find a lot of people are just waiting for that golden ticket, so they can put a marketing budget aside and then grow from there.
So what would you suggest, like, from if people currently haven't got a social media company, which obviously, you know, visuals is, but you know, like what are the steps before you, let's say, you get you in?
Even, I mean, your content doesn't have to, if you're starting, it doesn't have to be the best. You don't have to be such a critical person where you're reviewing every post that you do. It's just get a little bit of consistency up. There's a saying, prolific beats perfect. So what I would suggest if someone is starting off the game of social media, it's all about consistency. Don't analyse what you're posting, just get content out there. Try and post on it's very hard, especially when you're building a business. If you're independent, you tend to do everything from social media to your accountancy to sales, every part of the business. So I'd just say be consistent with what you post. Try and aim for 3 posts a week.